So what is the heavy stuff that I'm currently carrying? Let's get rid of some stuff. I have this Dwemer Cuirass that I was planning on selling, I think. Oh, I think I found a problem. We're going to have to drop some ebony here. Because that's really heavy stuff. So for some reason I was carrying that stuff around. I have a couple of hammers that I don't necessarily need. This stuff is fairly... Yeah, well, screw it. I'm gonna drop the... Oh! Curse, and something is trying to eat me. Ah! Nope. Nope. Not interested. Okay. Ah, it's one of these. Stupid slaughterfish, I think. Always causing problems, these ones. How about I try my new weapon on you? Yeah, that seems to do the trick. So, I think what I'm going to do is I might actually finally retire some of my old swords. This is a long blade, it's two-handed, so it's not necessarily that great. I mean, it requires me to actually have a little bit more armor elsewhere, because I cannot carry a shield. But the stats seem really strong, like, compared to my Spark Sword, which is a really high DPS dealer for me at the moment. It's 18, like maximum is 18 plus 4 damage. And that's shock damage, the additional 4 points. And this can do from 5 to 70. So I can do an instant 70 damage. Which is pretty amazing. I mean, this is a slightly... Well, I don't think this is even a slower weapon. It just does more damage, pretty much. And it has those additional bonuses, like reflect and stuff. What were they? Resist fire for 20, like 5 to resist fire 5 to 20% for 30 seconds. Restore health 5 to 20 points. So it's even like a restore health weapon. And it also allows me to reflect 5 to 20% for 30 seconds. So it's basically, I can use this to minimize damage, restore health, and fight. So I feel like we found something quite neat. Also emeralds, diamonds, and raw ebony that I already threw away because I cannot carry more of that stuff. A trapped chest. A lock level 40. Horror of Castle Azure. And a one-act play. I will allow you to read once more. There we go. How much is it worth? 250 for 3 weight. I think I can take that. Okay, time to open up some boxes. A little bit of gold. It's always good. Scroll of Unduzi's Unhinging. So that's now I have 15 of those. So at least I can open up chests whenever I want. I just need to remember that I actually have scrolls that allow me to open up chests. Expensive ring. 3 of these. I can always sell them. And then I have this trapped chest right here. Going to restore my stuff. It also is trapped, which means that I should save and then be ready to... oh, I used the standard key, so I don't think it even trips the trap when I use it that way. Of course, Corpse Preparation Volume 1. I think this is the same one we already have. And this isn't even worth that much. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop that right back, as well as this. These are the exact same books, exact same worth. Apparently nobody wants that. Magical resistance, 45 willpower. I can carry this stuff around if I want to. Apparently someone has a little bit of gold and a skull. And that's cool. I wonder if there is more stuff in this place. I could probably go and, you know, check the waters. Because obviously they have a bolt here. The question is, do the waters have more nasties? This might be a good time for me to use like Night Eye. Well, sometimes good stuff is hidden in the waters. Those are very deep waters, though. I'm pretty sure this is like the sort of depths that you probably wouldn't even be able to dive without some sort of actual like equipment. Also, this is raw ebony right here. Maybe this was at some point in time some sort of an ebony mine, maybe, and it got flooded. Something. Anyway, this looks like something that I'm going to take a look. It's more raw ebony. And then a person at the bottom with a little bit of bone meal and a fishing rod. So that was actually not worth it, but there was at least something. So someone at some point fell into the water, drowned properly, ended up into the bottom of the pit, and died. Well, I think I said drowned already, but I also picked up a basket. You can have that basket back. I really need it. There might have been something in there, but I keep running out of air when I dive that deep, so I don't necessarily want to do that. But if you ever need ebony, apparently this place has some. I'm not sure if ebony has some sort of a value in the necromancy circles or something. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to actually sleep in the hammock until I am properly healed up, and then we are going to continue with our exploration, I think. We found some interesting stuff already, but I think we haven't found everything we want. We can continue with the... Well, actually, here's the problem. I have a lot of stuff, and I cannot exactly carry a whole lot more. So I think what we might have to do is we might have to actually sell some of this stuff before we continue our exploration, because our exploration seems to yield some interesting items. And the interesting items always weigh a whole lot. So I think what we might need to do is we might actually need to take our loot and loop back to some sort of place with a shop. And once everything has been properly sold, then we can continue exploring stuff. So maybe next stop is actually us figuring out some place to sell this, and then we can continue exploring. But so far this whole plan of exploring the islands has been very nice, because I haven't found this place before. I did explore some of these islands, and I did find some interesting stuff, and this just goes to show that there is actually quite a lot of interesting stuff to be found in the on the tiny rocks around Sandrid Mora. Anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to Sandrid Mora, well, Wolverine Hall at least, and then I'm probably going to go and check a couple of these cities, empty some of my inventory, because I seem to have accumulated a lot of items that I actually need to get rid of. Some of these I'm going to keep, however. For example, the Ghost Charm. It seems very useful to have an item that can be used to summon a ghost, like basically at any moment. And obviously I'm going to keep my Chrysamere, because this sword seems quite amazing. Yeah, some of this stuff is starting to weigh a little bit. I have some right bracers here, some heavy armor that I'm never going to actually use. I have some emeralds, diamonds, things like that I'm never going to use. I have a couple of good books that I can sell. And I might need to get some, replacement stuff. I might have to get rid of, like, the Nordic Broadsword. I don't think I'm going to use it that much anymore. And obviously, I need to replenish some of my potion supply, because I seem to be starting to run a little bit low. So, I'm going to go back to Sandrid Mora. I'm going to probably go to Bomora, maybe Vivek, and sell some stuff. Maybe check some of those booksellers for that Vampires in Wardenfell book, Volume 2. And if I do find that book, I'll let you know. And if anything interesting happens, I'll let you know. But for now, I'll just skip ahead. Okay, one thing to note is that Yobasha's Rare Books actually does have a copy of Vampires of Wardenfell Volume 2. So, yeah, that's something you might want to keep in mind if you want to complete this this quest that we are doing. And practically we have already done this quest already, because, well, we already have this book. But, yeah, Yobasha's store seems to be very good for finding any books. I've already cleaned up a couple of these shops from money. I sold my vampire dust. I sold the emeralds, the diamonds, stuff like that. And I did have to pay some money for that book, but I also sold some of my own books, so it's all good. And we've already cleared up some amount of our inventory here. I still need to get rid of some more of this stuff, but it's not really priority anymore. However, what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably go through a couple more shops, and then that will be quite plenty for me. I also replaced the Spark Sword with a Stormblade. It's more or less the same thing, except that the Stormblade does 1 to 25 points of damage. Shock damage, where the Spark Sword only did 1 to 4. So it's pretty much just better. And yeah, pretty much everything else is more or less the same. I've sold some crap and gotten a little bit of money for that, so I'm very happy about that. But I'm going to continue. I'm gonna continue going through these shops, so that I can get maybe a little bit more stuff for me, and then once I've cleared up my inventory properly, we're just going to go back to Sandrid Mora, and we're going to continue exploring. So yeah, going to see you guys then. Okay, after shopping and buying us a little bit more upgraded equipment. It's only a minor upgrade, it's nothing too awesome. And also, since I'm going to mainly use my two-handed sword, I also decided to sell my shield so that I can carry more stuff. And I seem to have trimmed my inventory down a little bit. It's still somewhat full, but it's I think everything is going decently well. Also, we do have the second volume. And that gives me... then, oh, 1000 septims. So that's actually a very good reward for a quest. Usually the Mages Guild quest rewards are fairly poor, but 1000 septims is actually pretty damn decent. So I'm happy. I'm happy about this. Do you have any other duties? I'd like to speak with one of the wise women of the Ashlanders. Perhaps you could arrange a meeting. Speak with the wise women of the Ashlander tribes. From what I've heard, I doubt Benhamson or the Urshilaku would agree. The Zainab might agree, but I would speak with Ahemusa first. The Ahemusa camp is on the northeast corner of Wardenfell. Take a ship to Tel Voss and go north up the coast. If you reach the sea, you might have gone too far. Okay, I'm not going to do that, at least not now.
That guy asks way too much. Do you need something?
Yeah. Everyone keep quiet for a moment. Keep quiet! And this door leads to the battlements. Very good. This is a good place for me to get off. So we're going to continue exploring the island here. I'm going to go through like the coast. I'm probably not going to go and venture out to these small islands here unless I really feel like doing it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to check the coasts and also I'm going to hope that I can find something interesting to look at. But, yeah, going to keep exploring. What time is it? It's 6 PM, so basically I should wait a little bit. Going to wait full 12 hours here. Anyway, I'll see you once again when I actually find something interesting. Okay, we seem to have found a dungeon. And guarding the dungeon seems to be a skeleton. Oh, I imagine we can probably take care of this. Okay, Mr. Skelly, just come over here and let me just quickly stab you to death. There we go. Wasn't so hard. Seems to have only had an iron club and an iron shield that it wasn't actually wielding. Interesting. So we're going to take a quick look inside this yeah, it's an ancestral tomb. Figures. I think I'm going to just check this tomb out and then we're going to wrap things up. So I'm going to heal up before we enter the tomb, because it's always good to be it's always good to have full health before you enter some sort of tomb or a similar thing. And I'm going to also make sure that I have my shock ball ready. I imagine we're going to run into ghosts for the most part and skeletons, so everything should be fine in the regards to that. Locked door, I'm not going to open that up until I've checked the other door, because it's entirely possible that this might be just a side room. Oh, it seems to have a skeleton inside it. Oh. Also, because this is at least if Morrowind follows the arena and Daggerfall logic, because I'm using a bladed weapon instead of like a mace, I am doing less damage to these skeletons. Because I think skeletons are supposed to be like enemies you just crush because they don't have any organs that keep them alive, so you basically just need to crush their bones until they are tiny bits. Once again, a whole bunch of just random items. Drawbacks. Nothing valuable here. It's just basically an altar. Now is a good time to test, however, one interesting thing, which is this sword. So Yep, it gives me a little bit of health regen. Not a whole lot, but it has quite a few charges. I think it uses more charges fairly fast though, because it has so many magical effects stacked on it. So it's actually going to use up those charges fairly fast, but it's doing more health regen to me than the ring that I currently have that I also use to regenerate my health sometimes. Also, before we open a door, let's save, because there is the tiny chance that there is going to be something horrible on the other side. It's not something horrible, it's just a skeleton. And this spooky, scary skeleton is already dead. Very good. Seems to only have had a steel club. They have shields, but they don't seem to use them. I'm guessing that they just don't care. A trapped chest. Yep. It seems to have had a bit of shock damage on it. Nothing too powerful, too annoying. I think I might have found myself new greaves though. Imperial chain greaves, armor rating 22. It's medium armor, so it fits, and yeah, it's basically better than my my bone mold. So I accept that. That's very good. So this gives me just a little bit of extra armor. My armor rating is pretty low, particularly because I don't have that shield anymore. But it's still an upgrade, so I'm going to keep it. I also have some gauntlets here. I don't have gauntlets at the moment, so I might as well use those. They are a little bit heavy though, so it's not exactly too powerful. It's actually not even contributing to my overall armor rating. It figures. Yeah, I'm not going to carry that around. It's weight 14. There's an iron spear here, value 20, weight 14, so it's not worth it. There's a bug lamp, very interesting. So something seems to be having a bit of an asthma attack here. Oh, you just quickly die here, thank you. Bone Walker. Yeah, Bone Walker's annoying. Luckily, it's decided to die fairly quickly, so it wasn't a huge problem. And it wasn't a greater Bone Walker, because those guys, they have the nasty thing where they can actually damage your strength beyond just oh, apparently there are more of them. A whole room full of Bone Walkers. This is not good. Hopefully none of these were graders. Yeah, I think these were all just regular Bone Walkers, so that means also why am I trying to pick up some bone meal? I don't need that. But yeah, the graders, they can actually they cause more permanent damage to your strength, which makes them really annoying. Apparently someone managed to get here, but decided to die afterwards. Okay, none of this stuff is actually worth anything to me, but it's interesting that you decided to die here. And once again, pretty much nothing. Raw glass, I mean, it's worth something. Sultries, I can use that. So I think I have some crab meat, and here's some hound meat, so I can actually make myself some potions. 45 attribute personality, I mean, I can carry that, it's not particularly heavy. Talking about heavy stuff, here's some steel stuff that we're not going to pick up because it's too heavy. Yeah, I don't think anything else here is that interesting to me. But I feel like we still got something out of this, so this wasn't a complete waste of my time. Like those greaves were fairly decent. I'm very happy about that. Also, any chance to kill off some easy enemies in a dungeon is a good chance, in my opinion. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually, well, since it's might as well rest a little bit. Oh, hello. You just die quickly. Oh, you too? Well, I might as well throw a little bit of a shock ball at you. This is a good chance to practice my magic. Well, I slept until 1 PM, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save on top of I think Samsai 1. Yeah, it's my old save, so it's a good thing to have this kind of a 2-save thing going on where I save on top of either one after another. Anyway, I think that about wraps things up for now. Hopefully you enjoyed this session of The Elder Scrolls Morrowind, and we will see you in future videos. So see you guys then.